So, I'm moving out, and dead, broke, travelnet.com/collection/gomotion, baby. Look, I drew a grungy, ever-withering noodle girl long sleeve to fund my illicit plans of living again. Go grab this hot fresh pasta while it's relatively warm. Link in the description, you fiber optic funk nut. So, if there's one thing I've come to notice a lack of in FNaF fan games, it's the harrowing absence of strong restaurant theming. I mean, these places are mascot driven, right? Like, yeah, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza gets a pass for looking like just another shamelessly cheap, dingy, characterless pizza joint jumping in on the entertainment gold rush without more than a pathetic lick of thought put into its interior design, because Freddy's is a shamelessly cheap, dingy, characterless pizza joint jumping in on the entertainment gold rush without more than a pathetic lick of thought put into its interior design. But listen, we can't all stoop to Fazbear Entertainment's level. There's an art to going bankrupt. I want to see less of this and more of this, and I'm talking more than just giving each animatronic character a consistent look and feel. I mean a real, themed restaurant, something that isn't a generic-looking, kid-oriented pizza parlor. Look at what early Chuck E. Cheese was capable of before it made it big. Just look at how retro and rustic and southern everything is and Confederate. Oh yeah, rotten tomb patriotism. I feel my rights dripping away as we speak. I'm not saying you gotta go full rainforest cafe, cause yeah, that'd go hard as nuts, but some people just hate potential, but something a little more than this, right? And A Bite at Freddy's, released on October 6th, 2023 by GarrettTube McKay, is exactly what seemed like I want to scratch that itch. An authentic Freddy Fazbear themed grill. This shit oozes theme, like a decaying bag of meat. And from GarrettTube himself, listen, that dude knows his way around what it takes to craft a faithful, tongue-in-cheek FNaF-esque experience, down to that real specific visual trademark a lot of Scott Cawthon's modeling work features in FNaF's click theme lineup. So for somebody that dedicated, I'm aggressively pitting A Bite at Freddy's against those for this entire review. Get ready, Garrett, this better be good. So hey, without further ado, let us make like a slider and make some real cheese in the beef hamburger. So past the book standard warning screen, and we're met with an introductory cutscene. Possessing Freddy after, I assume, a death, I guess. Functionally, not too dissimilar in presentation to FNaF 2's opening, now with a whole lot more living. We're accompanied by dingus and dongas overlooking the reanimated menagerie. Man 1 and Man 2 conversing from afar in a lit-up dining area about how these crazy animatronics ain't moved this good since yesteryear. Did you know? Any company bearing the name Fazbear develops analogy to human rights. So anyway, with this definitely guilty as shit, blade slinging dick in our peripheral to boot, boom, title card. And aw, a little endo jaw biting at the cursor, that's cute. Not much else to gawk at as far as your options go here, but damn if that ain't a crisp menu screen render, painting us those warm, casual restaurant vibes, and the endoskeleton gore giving us a real good idea of how seriously the game and I are gonna take each other. And with that, past another sleek as hell shots, we're greeted by robotic sentience from the get-go. A walking, talking, walkie-talkie, donning a cowboy hat, hello foreshadowing. This here's the manager, whom, alluded by a fade-out line of dialogues, this bitch right here, cooking in the kitchen in the restaurant with us. Not before laying down the law in a quick preparative brief though, explaining the way the basics of our duties as a night shift mechanic, repairing and testing the Freddy fast food delivery machine. Which is where we're thrown right into the face of the butt of, staring down the mouth of the delivery circuit with a prompt to turn right, leading us into the, yep, I want to talk about the presentation first. Can we talk about the presentation first? Because holy grease-driven, burger-flipping shit is the attention to detail served fresh. The torn, stained wallpaper, the litter of party room decor, the classic staple diner meal iconography dotting that brick-built interior, those fancy-ass lights, and matched with the more industrial elements too, Freddy's grill is visually inviting in all the ways you'd want it to be. Even thrown in some environmental storytelling. Nothing says business was slow until the haunting of our animatronic mascots like a public hazard. But dang if the office ain't the standout here. The stacked grainy CRTs, the electrical tape, the jungle of wires, the window divider, everything's totally packed, but nothing feels overbearing. And hey, even the Y dropped from party time's a cool detail. Yeah, it's the prophecy that predicted my hours. The UI's clean across the board, transitions and animations are smooth, the sound design's sharp, clicky, and responsive when it needs to be. And between that and the family-friendly theming, contrasting the occasional interweaved mechanical junk, hell, even playing with color contrast, tying the colder blue metallic vibes to the cozier oranges with some electric menacing reds to complement. Yeah, first impressions are tight. There's sort of a stylized, retro, chunky tech thing going on too, on top of all that garbage. And especially in the animatronics show stage up front. Oh yeah, I forgot haunted robots. Allergies, right? The talk show animatronics. Yeah, these are a prefix I can get behind. Not only totally remixing the roles each classic character's usually suggested to have in a more faithfully cartoonish, stylized mascot character set, but setting them up to be part of a thematically sound late-night talk show-esque gig, appropriately supplementing the slight adult-oriented vibe of the eatery you'd usually find in a grill, of which I definitely wager was inspired by the Chuck E. Cheese Studio C Alpha stage, featuring a bolted-down waist-up Chucky and accompanying windowed city skyline to boot, or potentially McDonald's more prominent, actual late-night show-inspired Mac Tonight animatronic performances, or hell, maybe a mix of the two. It's not like those two haven't already inspired fan games of their own before. Either way, as a result of that ripping themselves out of the spotlight, you get one of my favorite niche FNaF fan animatronic design elements, Gangrene. These flame-grilled, lightly seasoned ground beef bastards only exist from the bust up. Short. For real, watching haunted animatronics drag their top halves around is such a weird visual that I can't help but love. Taking on a similar imagery to that of like a sawed-off zombie crawling around or something. It's comically grotesque in a way that actually works pretty damn well in the context of a game that opens with the extinction of all life on Earth, but simultaneously works as the most grounded and realistic way that haunted animatronics would move IRL. Make up your goddamn mind. But hey, don't let that pathetic hype fool you, they'll work your shit if you ain't careful. With the trade-off being that the one task you're actually paid to deal with being pretty damn simple. Just pay attention to the order status and confirm the manager's orders convey their way from the kitchen to each respective destination. Oh hey, it's the implication of a meal. That's the best for entertainment I know. Not for you though. You get a hot fresh plate of something at the end of each round, which feels like a consolation prize for not dying more than anything. Yeah, that's the fast for entertainment I know. The whole mechanic's essentially a replacement of the typical 6-hour countdown, with 3 meals a course and 4 courses per game. What? Yeah, courses. You're only spending the one night at the establishment, functionally making no difference than just splitting them up into 4 nights, but hey, it's refreshing in concept. Each graduating course throws a new enemy into the mix, kicking off with Bonnie and Chica, who share pathfinding destination real estate, Freddy to follow in course 2, approaching from above through a vent network, and Foxy that achieves nothing more than successfully pissing me off, making up the quartet by course 3. And while there's nothing inherently special about the majority of these guys' AI, each require you to fend them off in a unique way, all involving novel uses of your environment. Like facing off against Talk Show Chica in a pre-programmed quick draw scenario, for example, by picking up a pop gun and blasting that bird bitch between the lookers to the actual visual annoyance of Chica. That shit fits the vibe of the game perfectly, and in a fun way that prioritizes personality and game feel over just another door mechanic or whatever. And real quick tangent, a bite of Freddy's really does hone in on the personality here. The talk show designs being something I really can't get over, because unlike the majority of fan games, a bite features cute, cartoonishly proportioned mascot characters that look like animatronic adaptations of cartoon mascot characters. I feel like that's something people tend to forget with fan designs, that the purpose of an animatronic mascot is to replicate the look of a mascot, and the implied smirks, the accessories, those Looney Tunes looking ass proportions, they feel ripped straight out of 90s pizza-tainment. Like, I could totally imagine Chica as the star of a fictionalized Wild West Set AM cartoon, or Foxy hosting his own one-man show teaching kids about funky science shit. And if we're gonna make the comparison, the more goofy, personality-driven talk shows aren't uncanny in the same way the OG FNaF gang can be under the right lighting, and they're definitely not inherently scary. But I've always found a certain pleasure in crazy, cartoonish vibes pushed to the point of intimidation, but hey, what the piss would I know about that? The way these mechanical boys and girls approach you also bears striking similarity to the first FNaF game on paper. The bunny and bird confronting you closer to your workstation, Freddy making a stealthier approach, Foxy's behavior encouraging you to check on him till a certain point, it's all reflective of the first Freddy's game while injecting its own freshly baked identity grease into the mystery meat mix, and I love it. The power system at play here too, I'd argue, is a similar case, helping to tie each offshoot mechanic together and work as a natural evolution of the power gauge. Here replaced with a power load that runs the risk of overload, still giving you a taste of that sweet, sweet power management gameplay you've come to know and tolerate, but in a way that I honestly prefer in this context, fit with a more forgiving penalty in place, inhibiting you from using using any power-driven devices for a limited time if you chew off more juice than the building can handle. And that encourages strategy, stupid. Grinding the conveyor to a halt, that'll rub some power. Switching off the power to fend off Bunny if you catch him staring you up, that'll chew up a chunk of juice. Somehow. Oh, sorry, my bad. I forgot this game takes inspiration from the series that saps power from closing doors. Silly fucking me. Even viewing the cameras ramps up usage if you fail to prevent Foxy from pulling his bullshit by not refreshing the cameras in time. Who also gives you a dirty look when you best submit his own game, but somehow I feel less bad about it when Foxy's only purpose is to short the building's main power supply, forcing you to rely on a backup reserve the rest of the course. I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty organic, grass-fed feature, giving you the option of paying the Fox extra attention with less time to dedicate to checking on the others, or ignoring him for less of a headcount in the active threats department if you can afford the cost of some extra challenging power preservation. And stacked up against managing cameras and immediate threats, as far as the main gameplay loop goes, it's a very carefully crafted juggling act that I'm not afraid to admit I've come back to again and again and again. And every time you want to stand up against Chica, you want a complimentary suggestion of a soda, and tell if they do anything but indirectly act as an indicator on the menu for the amount of time I've spent genuinely enjoying pissing around with this thing. Not even just coming back for the mechanics, but the engaging vibes and presentation of a creaky, sleazy burger joint. And friends. Like, for example, one of said friends, Talk Show Freddy, compared to the rest of the gang, is just a slightly more out-of-the-way obstacle, funneling you into the cameras to activate a vent fan to turn them around, and sometimes even rude. Yeah, if you're unlucky enough, you can decapitate the bare bastard yourself, making him harder to see in the feed, producing a sound akin to a feeble horse whinny, but god is it a cool goddamn detail. And speaking of details, yeah, in a series full of foreshadowing, this is sick. But, hey, feel free to defenestrate literally everything I just said if you don't bother to check the delivery windows. Yeah, in true Fazbear fashion, the machinery works exactly as intended, until ghosts. These dudes have the capacity to climb through the food delivery openings and ride that shit to Sunday, forcing you to expend your precious power reserve by up to around 30% to pump the brakes on the belt to get rid of anything unsightly, if you can't shut the doors on them in time. And the way these mechanics interact is pretty great too. I especially love the subtle visual and audio cues that something's coming down the conveyor, the faint pinprick pupils blending in with the dust particles, and the audible clatter coming from the opening, muffled by the quiet ambience so it's never immediately obvious when you're potentially boned. Even giving each enemy a unique arrival speed relative to their difficulty, Foxy obviously being the fastest, reflecting his position as FNAF's resident bastard. And yet, with all of this to digest, these mechanics do the one thing most employees in these games are physically incapable of about after a week. They work. Because if there's one thing I'm always a tad cautious of in fan games, it's an overabundance of defenses. In some cases, the presence of way too many actually watering down the strategy of a fan game to a going through the motions clockwork-like rodeo. But here, I never ran into that problem. Each mechanic finally tuned to the point where I was making all the little micro decisions I needed to in a constant effort to reduce death, which is how it should be, a saucy little stain. The gameplay loop's just plain fun. It's forgiving when it needs to be, and I think that's really all you need to keep most people coming back, especially the latter. Dying in most FNAF games, both fan-made and official, can be the most annoying bullshit in the world, and when slipping up once in this stupidly high-stakes subgenre can reset your progress back to zero, I totally get it. But a robot slips past your watch on cams? You can hold the conveyor at the cost of your power. Freddy sticks his neck past the fan's reach? Yeah, you're gonna get him, but at the cost of visibility. Overload the power? Oh, the game will knock you down, but you can recover. There's a level of accessibility here that gives you the extra wiggle room to mess up, but doesn't hinder your accomplishments as a skilled player. And I don't want to let that kind of game design go unappreciated. Hell, in addition to the billion other pros I've listed for this thing, it's one of the many reasons I've come back to it so often. And there's even stuff between courses to mess with too. A few interconnected minigames to be exact. And by a few I mean two, and by two I mean one, plus rude! There we go. But hey, it's a good one minigame involving the removal and reinstallation of screws on the food delivery system while avoiding everybody's favorite punch-drunk bunny. Honestly makes me wish there were more immersive moments in the game like this. It's genuinely a neat little break on the action. But sod any of that, what's a loosely based FNAF 1 parody without a comical spin on a yellow bear that does nothing before killing you? Yeah, that's right, a yellow bear that does everything before killing you, bitch! The aptly named Final Course throws the canonically long dormant, aptly named Threadbare into the mix. Beatmix, coined after an incident wherein a kid jumped off a chunk of Fredbear's frontal lobe, and I believe in equity, so I'll have to balance it out by calling this mystery bastard child brainless McDipshit. Yeah, don't make the rules. Threadbare's a jack of all trades, appearing basically at random. He'll almost always spawn in with a distinct, if faint, audio cue, meaning if he's suddenly taken Freddy's place in the vent, you'll hear him. If he's over in the back room, you better refresh the cameras lest he infest your shit. See him in any of the rooms with a conveyor opening? Oh shit. Yeah, he'll stick himself in the delivery windows, halting any and all food and animatronic activity, which if you're anything like me, you'll just use as an opportunity to recover your power and totally cheese. The AI, don't even worry about it, man. He's unironically one of the coolest characters in the game though, with undoubtedly some of the coolest renders to his name and a genuinely great visual pun incorporated design using the crater in his flesh as a lookout spot. It is craftily creepy. Man, you got a good look at the detail here too. That decaying foam rubber, barely taped together, those crazy looking textures, like, would you stop already? And with that, hey, that's the original 500 gang back together, and upon beating the knights, the first chunk of the game out of the way, with a cutscene of Freddy escaping the establishment and into a thematically appropriate credits roll, and in lieu of the game's theming, fit with a cheesy ass "Where Are They Now" section, in character for the animatronics, and just... man, this game's stupid charm. Listen, a bite of Freddy's polish is squeaky clean, the tone's so charming and full of personality, the difficulty curve and balancing's pretty much near perfection, the renders are so pretty, even extending into unique loading screens for different sections, and maybe the hardest the series of game over screens have ever gone, both fit with tips and flavor text to boot. The manager's even given some real good lines, who I should also mention is in the kitchen watching all this happen literally the entire time, by the way, without doing a lick about it, but how can I complain? Like, I could sue him for criminal negligence, but this shit pang. Practically everything's clickable in the office and on some cams. The game's littered with cool visuals and Easter eggs, with a specific one I caught that looked a little like this that I'm not bringing up because I wasn't recording at the time, and all of this for a so-called bite-sized experience. So anyway, don't even consider all that the meat of the game. Look, it's a genuinely well-thought-out, beefy-ass custom night. If the Lord walks in mysterious ways, I wouldn't be surprised if a bite at Freddy's was the second coming of Christ. But before we get to that, it's time for dessert, and we are served a hefty smattering of extras baked fresh from the menu, starting off with the extras. Yeah, you got your rooms, your posters, your developments. It's always great seeing development efforts recorded and game assets preserved in high qualities. Stuff like this, it's like a mini art book section. It's always appreciated. But the real mince meat and potatoes, fries here. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to hamburger helper. Those crisp, ultra-detailed character displays are the standout here, and dang. The years-old grease stains, the peeling fabric, the fact that Threadbare especially is so visibly beat up, the curling foam, the gunk spots matted into his fur, the rougher texture on his nose. So much of each character's withering is so intentional, applied in all the places you'd expect on an actual decaying animatronic. Something you do not see often in a lot of these things. What are we ordering? Weight painting and substance painted to the same table here? What are you doing? You're scaring them! But eye candy aside, I think I order let us get into the real extra condiment tent this thing's got to offer. Yeah, I'm not above making the same cheap pun twice in the same video. Come on, catch up. This game's custom night, the true main course, so the appetizer that's the main campaign, that feels like a series of tutorial levels by comparison. One proof here in my recordings, of course, is 1 to 4, and here's the goddamn rest of the goddamn shit-picking rest of the... While you're granted complete control over each character's AI here, what am I, a sheep? We're here for the custom night challenges, and oh my god, yeah, this ain't just a roll of the dice on which monster of the week's gonna skillet your ass the hardest. There's an actual fun gimmick to go along with each, remixing and reimagining the game into 6 distinct levels, each with their own fundamental spin on the base formula. Even the manager dresses up and reacts accordingly to the conditions you're thrown into here. It's a fun detail. And there's a decent variety here, from deliveries arriving scattered around the vicinity, forcing you to hunt them down and basket hunt, to cold kitchen, where the restaurant's formed its own internal weather cycle, the freezing temperature causing the cameras to... yeah... get really cold and then stop working. I don't see how those 2 points are correlated though. Out of service when the company katana meets brake cable. Yeah, let one of the crazy bitches slip into the conveyor now and you're cooked. No stopping the belt. That one's actually a genuinely neat challenge that actually really keeps you on your toes. My favorite's gotta be Haunting Roulette though. Deduct and promptly shock the interactive tool of the week, wriggling with the soul of the damned before it jump scares you, making this the only fan game in existence that gives you the privilege of pausing mid-game and dying to 8 polygons. And if that just ain't the epitome of a bite at Freddy's, I mean they up it to like 12, so. But what FNaF clone to be complete without a 520 mode, son? Yeah, here are custom night challenges 1 to 6. Here are my goddamn 520 attempts. Okay, listen, if Foxy ever fries your shit before meal 1, just restart. Make sure to cheese the power with Threadbare, and yeah, eventually you'll get through it, but boy did it sizzle my tenderloin. Every screw-up felt like my own doing, each death giving me a tad bit more to learn about the intricacies of the behavior of these dudes. Something crazy important in a game like this. Like, I wasn't down to total bullshit or nothing, it was always my own comeuppance that got me. A detail not exclusive to 520, but one that definitely mattered the most when tensions got tight. And after an untimely string of deaths, finally, I was able to beat that damn course over the course of several days, but we don't talk about that. Full course that is. Each challenge automatically sets a specific AI level for each character, full course telling you it sets each robot to 20. It doesn't, you gotta crank them all individually to play the true 520, which is indescribably more difficult and possibly akin to the pain of 1,000 suns concentrating into each and every one of my paws. But if you're anything like me, the combination of a Fredbear finger puppet and a really sexy 10GB file offset my frustrations instantly. Yeah, I'd call the battle damage to my hard drive worth it. And yeah, Fredbear finger puppet. Each extra course rewarding you with a random little trinket to commend your persistent ass. Going ditto for the game's main landmark challenges actually. Both funky ass, stylistically appropriate approaches to replacing the typical FNaF-esque completion stars, including a paper roller game tosses you for doing a whole lot of nothing on 0-20 mode, you know, for the poopy you went and took while you waited for it to pass. Stupid. Yeah, recognizing my accomplishments via menu stars? No thanks. I'm validated by the fact that a bite at Freddy's accommodates for my animalistic need to take a shit. And with that, A Bite of Freddy's is an almost flawless fan game in my eyes, standing as one of the most structurally sound and well-polished pieces of fan content I've seen tossed out there in a while, and I think everybody stupid eyeless freak knows why. The game's tailored to the user experience first and foremost, reeling the concern over the typical FNaF trope of grounding the player in a super spooky lore-rich atmosphere way back, focusing on the game mechanics, building an engaging presentation and story around that. And it's also not bloodbound by the limitations of Click Team. Yeah, FNaF Fangame and Godo. Did the rapture arrive early? Defending yourself in a conveyor belt against a slew of animatronics is fun, and without the game constantly trying to keep things consistently spooky, scary, tense or the same, I feel like there's more room to focus on everything that ain't there. Appealing character designs, gameplay optimization, hell, just a simple-ass story. This thing knows where to prioritize. Now, I ain't saying these elements bog down what would otherwise be a more robust and mechanically engaging fan game, but a lot of the time I see what could be more robust and mechanically engaging gameplay dragged by a whole lot of waiting and pacing issues when, you fresh not frozen little fry. This is a FNaF fan game, you're doing the same shit for about 90% of the runtime. Ergo, the more you engage, the less frightening these things inherently become, so A Bite at Freddy's leans into that replayability and says, hey, here's a variety of intuitive mechanics in a fun environment with a tongue-in-cheek remix of the classic elements you know and love, rolled into a bite-sized experience. You know, I'm somehow having trouble fitting 10 different levels into my mouth.